Then we can present anytime, right? Can you start anytime, right?
You can start.
Alright, good afternoon Dr. Chan and fellow classmates. Today we'll be presenting a topic about internal communication. My name is Benjamin and I will be presenting the introduction of our topic, the case study for our topic, and the chronological progression of our case study. Yan Ning will be sharing with us what went wrong in the case study and the reaction and responses happened that the subordinates have during the case studies. Then they will show us the possible solutions for the case study and what are the lessons learned that will prepare us for our career in future. So, what is internal communication? Internal communication covers all types of communications within an organization, which includes written, oral, face-to-face communication, and etc. It is important for us to handle it effectively because it can improve our overall employee morale and teamwork within the organization. And effective internal communication needs to come from top-down or bottom-up communication, which means that from the superior to an employee or employee to superior as a feedback. Without further ado, please sit back and relax and enjoy the clip.
Has anybody seen Kelly?
I've seen Kelly. Yeah, pretty much all of her.
Have you seen the shirt she's wearing today?
Yeah, and that's actually the problem.
Yeah. Some people are saying that she's being offensive or something, and I'm the one that's going to say something to her about it.
Who are these people? And what's their problem? And Kelly's the only thing that keeps me coming to work every day.
Tell me about it. But you know women. Women are sensitive, especially Beth.
Oh.
Yeah, this is the 4th time she's complained about Kelly's clothes. It's going to leave us know.
So we probably get back after that delayed flight. It's awful. Hey, Cal. John left you a note.
Oh.
Dear Kelly, as much as I love your shirt, this isn't that kind of business. Ha ha. Please wear a sweater over in the future if you are going to continue wearing revealing clothing. You're making Beth uncomfortable. John. What? What's wrong with this shirt? Do you think it's too revealing? I think it's cute.
Just because I can dress like a librarian and talk about professional. A post-it note on my computer where anybody could see? Good job there, John.
Whatever. You should just ignore it.
Oh, I am. Right after I send an email to Beth.
And copy John.
Definitely. And maybe even a few other people.
So I hope you guys enjoyed the clip. So let's see what was shown in the clip. John, the supervisor, received a complaint about Kelly's attire being too revealing. Then he went to talk this issue to another male subordinate and revealed some confidential information. For example, Beth's identity, which was a co-worker. After that, he conveyed the message to Kelly by written it on a post-it note and stuck it on a computer. But what is his intention? His intention was to convey a message from Beth to Kelly about her dressing being too revealing. And he would like to suggest Kelly to dress appropriately in future. His method of communication shows us that he wants to settle it as soon as possible, as it is the 4th time he had to handle this issue and he is tired of it. Another assumption is that he may not have people with the same hierarchy status as him to discuss this issue about. And due to John's poor management, it leads to conflict within the workplace and more people get involved. So to summarize this case study, the initial problem was John received a complaint from Beth about Kelly's attire. Due to John's poor management, it leads to subsequent conflict in the workplace and more people get involved. So now I'll pass on to Yan Ning, and she will share with us what went wrong and the reaction and responses of the subordinates. Yan Ning, please.
Thank you, Benjamin. I will now talk about what went wrong. We'll first look at John's point of view. We saw in the case study that he was writing his message on a post-it note and he stuck it on her computer. he was telling his male subordinate that Beth complained about Kelly's attire, and this was the first mistake he made. Although he is very close to his male subordinate, he should never disclose that Beth was the one who complained, and also spread the complaint to other people. Let's take a closer look at John's message. He got the format right, where he first tried to build goodwill, second, tell what Kelly needs to know, and finally, saying the reason why he is writing this message. He also used salutation to greet Kelly and sign off with his name. However, this message is very informal. He used short form, and similarly to his male subordinate's case, he disclosed that Beth was uncomfortable. John did try to build goodwill when he said that Kelly said he loved her shirt, but he immediately shot it down when he wrote that this isn't that kind of business. We learned in this course that messages should be concise and also have you attitude. When writing the message, John should look at things from Kelly's point of view, respect her intelligence, protect her ego, and also emphasize what she needs to know. Perhaps John could remind Kelly that she is also an employee of the company, and that she projects the image of the company, and that she should take note of her attire. Now we will look at Kelly's and her female subordinates' side of the case study. The subordinate's reactions is that Kelly disagreed on her revealing attire, and she also thought that the post-it note on her computer was unprofessional. John seems like he was avoiding the conflict, and it is only a one-way channel where he didn't invite Kelly to contact him if she has any problems. The subordinate's reactions is that Kelly and her female co-worker chose to ignore the message. As such, John will not be aware of the outcome of his management, and also the Kelly's responses and their reactions where they think that her attire is not too revealing, and also the thoughts of his unprofessionalism. Then we have looked at the mistakes John and his subordinates made. Daniel will now elaborate on what they should have done to manage this situation better.
Thank you, William. So now let's take a look at what are the alternatives supervisor could have done. Firstly, from John to Beth, he should set expectations. What I mean by that? It means by telling her that complaining is lowering employees' morale and is taking away valuable time from productive work. He need to explain to her that he would appreciate that her cooperation in this situation and the importance of working together to make the business run smoothly. He should also emphasize that he's working together with her to make the office a more conducive place for everyone. He should remain positive throughout the conversation and avoid making it personal or emotional based. Follow through a commitment to resolve her reason for complaining. Tackling her root of problem could eliminate her from complaining again. And this allow her to focus more on the job in hand and also her performance. Next would be how he should handle Kelly. He should either send email or do a face-to-face discussion with her on the dress code policy in the company. Avoid mixing any of his judgment and stories into description of the problem. He need to mention to the part where his interest in holding this conversation is a concern for her potential in the organization. He need to let her know that her compliance to keep door of advancement open. This will ensure her to understand his goodwill towards her. John is also likely to feel uncomfortable since it's from different sex. That's why make it safe comes in. Next would be from Kelly to John. For Kelly to John, she should approach him directly and seek advice from him. She should want him to tell her what are the areas to improve and also which part of her outfit is too revealing. She should think win-win. She should think of a win-win situation. Is there really a need to win this battle of dress or code? Or do you want to do your job in a more peaceful working environment? Sometimes it's easier and smarter to let go of little things and live in peace than to make it miserable for everyone. Before we end this presentation, there's a few lessons learned from this case study. First, we should always wear appropriately for work. Guys to wear ties, shirts, black pants. Girls to wear knee-length skirts or maybe long pants with shirts. Probably a blazer depending on the company policy. Do not blab in office. Even when you have the intention to compliment, sometimes people will mistake it for criticism or take it as a negative way. And lastly, think win-win. Never retaliate by involving more parties into a problem. You only make matter worse instead of solving it. Always try to make a working environment a conducive one, and you will love your job, and you'll be more happy to go to office every day. Thank you.
Any questions?
I think this case study is a common problem in the office, so it's a good learning point for all of us. I think it helps us to tackle, by learning this, help us to tackle such a common problem when we face when we go to work. Yeah.
I think for future, when you are becoming a supervisor, it is wise to handle the situation first before you make a conclusion of how to handle it. For example, in this case, John don't really know how to handle the situation, as it's been the fourth time he has to handle it. So if he can handle it the first time, it will be good enough. Like telling her privately that what she should wear, a dress code policy, or maybe tell her to wear a blazer next time. Will be better for the whole organization in the future.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.